Hello friends, today in this tutorial I'll be showing you that how to create a pagination using PHP and MySQL database. So you can see on your screen here we are displaying using Bootstrap 4. You can see this is a list group and there are certain pages out there. On the first page we are displaying the first 5 records. On the second page we are displaying the next 5 records, the third page and the fourth page. So this is the certain pagination structure that you see inside every website which uses pagination. Pagination is nothing but displaying data inside different kinds of pages, because if you have a lot of data to display on an application, you will want this data to be chunked into pieces so that you can display them inside multiple pages, because if you display it on a single page it will take a lot of time. So that's why pagination is a very important concept in programming. Many developers use it. So this is the simplest of example I will be telling you inside PHP and MySQL database. So in the starting in the URL you can see we are passing a start parameter. So this is a page number. So if you want to go to the second page, you can directly go to using this URL. So it will go to the directly to the second page. If you want to go to the third page, you can see it will go to the third page. And also you will see it will highlight the selected page number with the different class name. This is coming because of Bootstrap. So if you go to the certain page number, it will highlight that page number, because you can see that we are on first page number, second page number, third page number, fourth page number. So all these records are being stored inside the database, guys. If you closely look inside our table, so these are the certain records out there. You can insert more records here if you inside this insert statement, and this is our structure here. So inside the PHP script, you closely look, we are displaying 5 records inside a single page. You can also change this to 2 here. So if I make this adjustment in the PHP script, you will see in the result panel here, if I refresh it, now the pages will be increased here. You can see the pages will be increased. Now we are only showing 2 records per page. If I go to the second page, I will show the next 2 records like this. So the pages now will be increased. So now let me increase the record per page to 10. So now we are displaying 10 records per page. So now in this case the pages will be decreased. So now you will see that only 2 pages are there because we are displaying 10 records. So you can just customize this, play with this accordingly, whatever is the requirement of your application. So this will be the pagination that we will be building in this tutorial in pure PHP and MySQL database, and we will also be using some Bootstrap as well for styling purpose. And let's start this tutorial. And if you are new to this channel, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. So let's start building this pagination, guys. So the very first thing we need to do is that we need to create a table inside our database. So right here we are using exam control panel. This is a free software which is used to develop PHP my applications inside your local host. So make sure that you install it. It's a cross-platform software. So just type exam control panel and simply go its official website and download for Windows. And after this, guys, once you start this, go to the admin panel of PHP admin, create a new database. I have already created this pagination database. So you just need to create a new table here. Table name can be anything. Let's suppose page table. And you can give a column name to ID, which will be auto incremented. This is a primary key of the table. And next will be the title. This will be varchar. You can give any column name, 256. So clicks on save. So this is our table here. This is a primary key and this is the title. So here we can insert some entries into it, which will be first, second. So 2 entries are being inserted. In the similar manner, we can increase it to insert more entries like this. So if you now see 4 entries are there. So we can insert some more entries here, 5, 6. So I'm just taking some test random data. So depending upon your application, you will insert some more data, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now you can see that guys 10 entries are there here. So it is more than enough for our application to test out. So first of all, what we need to do is that we need to write our PHP script. So I will delete all these files here and start from scratch. So inside our root folder, you just need to create an index.php file. So this will be the PHP file which will be required. So just put the PHP tags here. And first of all, we need to connect to our database. So here we will use the MySQL connect method. And here we will pass the host name, which is localhost in this case. Username is root, password is nothing, and the database name is Pagination. So put it like this. So now we are successfully connected. So after the connection, what we need to do is that we need to set some variables. So this will be the how many records you need to display. So this will be the per page parameter. So we need to display 4 records and the starting variable, starting page number. This will be 0 by default, and the current page number is equal to the current page will start from 1. So these are the 3 variables that we have declared, guys. How many records to display? 4 records. The starting variable is 0 and the current page number. So basically the page number that you see inside the pagination. So it will start from 1. So after that, what we need to do is that we need to get the records. We need to get the records using the limit clause. So basically inside a SQL database, you will know this limit clause, which will which is actually used for the pagination purpose. So basically it is used to only select a certain number of records. So here we will make a new variable which is record, and now to get the number, it is very simple, which is MySQL num rows, and inside this we need to uh, first of all we will calculate we will write our query here, which will be this query, which is select the column name, which is select id comma page from the table name, which is page. So now we need to execute this query. So for executing this query, it is very simple. We will have our result. So MySQL query method is used to execute this. So we will pass the connection object. So here we need to hold the connection inside this object here so that we can use it. So here we will pass the connection object and then the query, which is the SQL query. That's it. So this will be the actual result which is returned to us. So now we will pass this result inside our MySQL num rows. So basically here we will calculate how many rows are returned to us. So these are the number of records which are returned to us. So we can echo out just to tell how many rows are returned to us. So basically if I refresh it and go to my script here, which is localhost pagination. So now you will see that guys 16 records, 16 rows have been returned to us. You can see that. But you can see this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 16 it is saying. Let me see. Uh, select id comma page from page. Oh sorry, I think we have selected the wrong table. That's why you can see that there is another table called as page out there which contains 16 records. So that's why it is pulling 16 here, this value. So we need to change the table name. This is our table, which is page table. So that's why it is. Just change this table name to page table. And now if you refresh it, 10 MySQL num equals 23. select id comma page. Oh, sorry, this column needs to be title, because if you closely look here inside this table, the column name is title. So that's why you will see this. If you now refresh it, you will now see 10 records will be returned to us, 10 rows, because if you closely look here inside the table, 10 records is present. So now the PHP script is running perfectly. It is showing the correct result. So now after this, just remove this echo statement. So now we have got the correct records. So now we need to calculate the number of pages that will be displayed in the pagination. So now to do that, it is very easy. There is a certain mathematical formula which will be pagey, I will call this. So we will use this ceil method, which is used for roundup. So basically in mathematics, you 4.5 is written is round up to 5. So in similarly in programming, we do this using the ceil function. So here you need to pass the total number of records, and you need to divide it by the per page parameter, which is how many pages we need to display, how many records with 4. So we are dividing this by 4. Let me change this to 5 here. It is very much easy. So put a semicolon, and now if you echo out this value, so it will tell you the number of pages which will be used to display these records. So if I refresh it, now you will see 2 pages will be required to display 5 records per page, because total number of records, if you see, is 10 here. So 10 divided by 5 is equal to 2. So basically, now if I change this to 2 and refresh it, now this will be 5, because 10 divided by 2 is 5. So that's why. And if I change this to 3, 10 divided by 3 comes out to be 3.9. So this will be rounded off to 4. The ceil method will round up to 4 pages. So that's why this is a mathematical formula which is calculate to calculate the number of pages which is required for pagination. After you calculate this, guys, it is now very easy. Now we need to get all the data, which is select id title from page table, and here we need to use the limit clause here that I talked about at the starting of the video. So limit, and then we need to pass the start parameter, which is equal to 0, comma, and then the number of records which needs to be displayed per page. That's it. So basically this will only uh, select certain number of records starting from 0 to 3. So yeah, if I echo out this statement, so you will see select id from page table limit 0 to 3. So it will first of all calculate the 3 records which are required, 1, 2, 3. You will see that it will first of all get the first record, the second record, and the third record. This is meant by this statement limit. So just remove this echo statement. So then we need to get this result, MySQL query. We need to execute this query, pass the connection object, and also the SQL. That's it. So this is our PHP code which is done right now. Now we need to write our HTML code which is required for this application. So mind you guys, I have given all the source code of this PHP script. If you face any sort of problem writing this, you just need to go to the video description link here. I have given all the source code of this PHP script in my coding Shiksha blog post. So simply go to the video description link and you will get all this PHP script. So simply you need to copy it. So the link will be there inside the video description. So just go to it and copy all the source code. So after this, guys, what we need to do is that, so now we need to include our Bootstrap and Jquery. It is very easy. So head In the title we can say Bootstrap for pagination in PHP and MySQL. Close the title. So for this guys, we will need Bootstrap CDN. So simply you can go to w3schools.com and right here in this you will need all these three things, which is the CSS part, Jquery, and also the JS part of Bootstrap. So simply paste it all these three CDN links, and also we will need the style, three styles here. Simply paste it and close the head. So inside our body here, we will now have our body code. Simply close the body here and also close HTML. So right here inside the body, we will have a container class of Bootstrap and margin top of 100. So these are all Bootstrap classes. So inside this, we will have a h2 heading. We will give it a class of margin bottom from 30. So here we will simply say pagination example. So close the this. So after this we will have a UL element and we will give it a class of list group. So inside this list UL element unordered list, we will display our pagination. So here put the PHP tags here, and then we need to compare inside if condition MySQL num rows. If the result is greater than 0, in that case only we need to display the pagination. So here we will make use of while loop. So here we will make use of the while loop. So we will get this data inside associative array MySQL fetch associative. We will pass the result object like this. Close the PHP tags here. So here you need to just close it. And also wrap this inside the PHP tags. So in between these, we will show the pagination, which is very simple inside the list item. We will give it a class of list group item. So here you simply need to echo out the title, which will be row, the column name, which is title here. That's it. So now you need to also close the tag. So if I now refresh it guys, this application, you will see this. The pagination will be displayed here. Three records will be displayed. The first three records, first, second, third. From the database, you will see first, second, third. So if I change this script to, let's suppose I need to display the first four records here. So now you will see it will display the four records. You can see that this is that easy. And we also need to write the else statement as well. If no records is found, then we also need to show after this we will also have a else condition as well. If no records is found, then we will simply say no records found, and then we need to close this else statement as well. So let's suppose I change this to here 40. So this is an invalid value because the 40 records is not found in the table, only 10 records are present. So in this case you will only see, it will only display the first 10 records. You can see that. And let's suppose if I pass invalid -40. So in this case I think it will display MySQL, you can see this error is saying and no records found. You will see this. So now after this, guys, we need to display the pages as well. So just change it to 5 here. So now we need to display the page numbers, which is essential part of the pagination, the number of pages which will be displayed. So this is very easy. Right here at this bottom of the screen, after this UL element, we will display the page numbers, which is quite easy. We will once again use another unordered list for doing this. So inside this, we will give it a class to it of Bootstrap class, which is pagination, margin top to 30. So inside this, we will again use the PHP tags, and here we will use the for loop I is equal to 1, and basically it will run until the number of pages which needs to be displayed, which is stored in page. So we have calculated this at the very top. You will see this page. You will see this. We have calculated using this formula. So here we are just looping it until it reaches its value, and then $I plus plus. So this is a loop, and here inside this loop we will display a class variable which will be nothing, and then we will compare if the current page is equal to $I in this case. So current page value is, you can see, is equal to 1. So here we are just comparing it. If the current page is equal to 1 in that case, so this is slightly complicated code here, so I will just paste it here and then explain you what is happening. So here inside the pagination pages here, guys, we are just comparing it, and then we are attaching the active class to it as well. So these are all Bootstrap classes, which is page item and active as well. So this is the anchor link, uh, and these are the rest of the pages out there. Also, we are attaching the page item class to it as well. So this is a hyperlink which will go to the actual page number. You can see that. If you refresh it now, the page numbers will be shown to you. You can see this is the first page, this is the second page. So start is equal to 2. So we haven't handled this scenario until now. So if the user passes any start variable here, let's suppose start is equal to 4. So this is not handled. So we need to write code for this. So it is very simple. At the very top, we will make a if condition. So if we get this data passed inside the URL, so if is set and $_get. So if the start variable is passed inside the URL, and we will initialize the start to this using this like this $get. So whatever is the value passed, we will initialize it to start. And also we will here compare if the start variable is smaller than or equal to 0. In that case, we will initialize the start to 0. And also the current page will be equal to 1. So basically we are saying that if the past value is in negative or is equal to 0, then the start will be 0 and the current page will be 1. And else, in the else scenario, we will current page will be equal to the start, and start we will just minus minus, we will subtract 1 from it. So this is a formula, guys, which is used for pagination for all the paginations. You have seen that. And start will be multiplied by the number of entries which needs to be displayed, which is stored inside per page. That's it. So this is all the if condition you need to write to handle this pagination. So now if you decrease the number of records to be displayed to 2, if I now you will see this is the first page, second page, third page. You will see the start variable is passed here in the URL as well, fourth page, fifth page. So if I change this start to, let's suppose, second, it will go to the second page automatically. If you pass, let's suppose, the negative value, -40, if this is an invalid value, this will show the first page automatically. You will see this. If you now pass, let's suppose, this value, so now you can see no records found. So this is a fully featured PHP pagination script, guys. We're using MySQL database. So for this styling purposes, we are using Bootstrap. So make sure that you copy the script in the video description. I have given all the source code. And please hit the like button as well. And also I will be showing you in the next live stream.